Okay, today we're going to show you how to properly put up panels like this insulation in a roof. Very simple, very easy, and we're going to do it step by step. Ready? First, align your ladders accordingly so you can get underneath there so you can measure both sides of the roof.
Okay, so now I put the magnet on the inside of this. Can you see that magnet right there? I put the magnet on there so when I hit it, it clicks on like that. And then I bring it on over, and I get 55 and a quarter. 55 and a quarter. Okay, notice that the magnet is on the inside of this right here. Notice on the magnet, so it'll stick. Sticks right to it. Goes back over here, and it's 56 and a half. Okay.
Okay, lay out your two pieces. This one right here, this piece right here was just extras caught up from the other long piece. This is a 4x8 over here. And then we use this to line up the bottom right here. If that's available to see through the video, let's see if it's not. There we go, it is now. Using this as the bottom right here and the two sides. So now I've got my 56 by my 96, but I'm going to need 161, so we'll talk about that. Now notice that the tape is between everything right now. I pushed in with this way right here. I pushed in with my foot, and then we taped it all the way across with that white vinyl tape. So I need to get 20 and a quarter off of this to get to my 116 over here. So I got 96 plus the 20 and a quarter here, and I'm going to cut this off before I lay it. Okay, that's the 20 and a quarter mark right there, and now I'm going to cut it. So in order to cut this, I put a pen mark in there, and I'm going to line it up with that line right there so that when it comes through there, when the blade comes through there, show me the blade. The blade is right here, and I'm going to start the cut, and it's going to follow it because it's so thick, and that's going to make me a nice straight cut. Ready? Okay, so I'm going to use this cut right here. I'm going to go through with it. This is going to make a nice blade cut. Nice blade cut. And you want to do it without ripping it. You just want to be right down the center, like that. And you're using that crease or that line right inside there as your guide, but also as you go all the way through. And you're going to make a nice straight cut. Good. That's it. Try not to show me. Okay, you ready? Okay, now I'm going to take this. After I made the cut, I'm just going to go ahead and clean it up. It's pretty clean as it is. It's pretty perpendicular. You want it perpendicular to get a good seal. Okay? And you want to be able to kind of push it up and you're following the pen line as you do it. Okay, now let's go ahead and assemble it. Okay, so now we tape that side right there. See how we taped it right there? Now you got almost 3 pieces, right? Someone's saying, why don't you just use 4 and use that whole length? Well, because the mat doesn't come out, and I would use up much more styrofoam. This works out just fine. Okay, the fact that this is going to be 20 and a half, I'm going to be running this way right here with it, okay, over here. And then I'm going to put 17, and that'll give me 3 to get to 40 and a half. 3 times 3 is 21. Plus the 30 is 51, so I won't have all of it, but I'll have enough. So you got to think about the mathematics in this, okay? Okay, notice that I'm putting this metal band here, so because my hand is got to get all the way over here, and I don't want to bend or depress on anything or put any pressures on the good side. All right, so I'm going to come over here and start the cut, and I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to saw first, like this, like this. And then, of course, this will just kind of take care of itself. Okay? Good, 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 good. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now what I did was, can you see the whole piece over here as well? Just kind of get back a little bit. And then what you do is you're going to put that little piece right here, okay? And you're going to put it
then now we're going to tape this here and here. And then, of course, we're going to tape the other side, and you'll see that in the coming video. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to cut this end off so it's level, and if you notice I'm squaring everything up at the same time. Also notice that I'm keeping my hands clean as I do it. Up. What happened? Okay, notice that this is the bottom. Notice which way it's heading. I'm going to hit 56 and a half. I'm going to take the pen mark. I'm going to put down the money at 56 and a half. Next one over here.
55 and a quarter.
55 and a quarter. And again, straight up. 55 and a quarter right here. Okay, so that's all. Okay, so what we're doing right now is I have two levels. One's like this, and the other one's like this, you can see, and they are magnetic. Now, what makes that? So I'm going to take this magnet, and we're going to keep it together like this, and then I'm going to bring it over here. My wife's going to bring it over in that corner, and I'm going to bring it down this line here, right on the middle of the line, right on the middle of the line. Perfect. And at that point, now, I will turn around and pin it, and I will cut it. So watch this. So I'm going to go like this. Pin it. We call it pinning. New term I'm coming up with. I'm going to come over here, this one right here, and pin this right on the line. Right like that. Like that. Like this. And like this. And then I'll take this off. Like this. And I will pin it here. Here, right. See that? Right here, like this. Pin it. Here, and then pin it right there. And then we'll start cutting this line. You're probably asking why I added a little extra on this side. Because when I did that, I also recognized the fact that that would be an extra cut that I didn't have to make for this side right here. And therefore, not there yet, but that's the extra cut for that piece. And of course, those little pieces right there will be the extra cuts that we make over here on the next piece. Okay? So we'll keep going. Okay, since I turned around and turned this upside down, I've already blown it off with it. Tape it. We're going to tape this side because we've got four pieces. We're going to tape it with this other type of tape, which is this type of tape. This is the tape we're going to use right now. Oh, you got to watch it, okay, what you're doing. So, okay, we're going to use that tape, but my wife says, nope, use the rest of this tape right here, which is what it is. It's called, basically, it's a tie-back type, so it will handle up, and we're going to run this all the way across. Thank you very much. So now we have tape on both sides. Now that we have that, we're going to turn around and get rid of all the high spots right here. Like this. All the high spots, everything. And I'm going right down to the pen mark that I've created. I'm going to get rid of all the high spots. Sometimes you get the little corners. And you can feel the high spots in there where your blade is going to move on you. Okay, so be aware of that. Don't move on you. Okay? That's it. Now, okay, so this is going to be a basic dry fit. And normally Robin would be up with me, so we're going to dry fit this. Make sure everything kind of fits. Notice that it fits perfectly up here. Exactly where it's going to go. Okay? And then it's going to fit real nice over there. So I already know what the dry fit's going to do. So I'm going to push it up there just temporarily. And then come over to the other ladder. Now normally Robin's on the other ladder. And we're working that out together. But in this case here, for sake of video, dimensions I created were perfect. So now, let's take it down, let's put the magnets on, and watch what happens now. This is a simple one.
Give me a
Okay.
quick number on that, ready?
Okay, so this side here is going to be the
7-inch side.
7-inch side. So when you bring this over here like this, just lay it out. Like that. Not get crazy with it. Just lay it out. Okay. Notice that the magnet. Notice where the magnet's at. It's on there. It's actually holding itself up against the wall. Make sure that the magnet doesn't fall on the other side, which it did in the past. And then we come in here, and because I know where the magnet's going to be relevant to the size, I'm going to go with this, and this is the first one is going to be, Robin?
First one is 12 up, 7 in.
12 up, 7 in. So I'll go 12 up and 7 in, and I'll put a dot in there, and I'll put a dot like this. The next one is going to be
40 and
40
7.
40 inches
Yep.
and 7. So here's 7, and I put a dot here, and a dot here. Remember, this is going to be on the inside.
77.
77. So I've already calculated it based upon, show these reams up there. See these reams up there? I noticed that where they are, and I know that like with the magnet, they won't be in any way close to those. And these numbers that I'm creating on 40, 77 are all those. Okay, thank you. 7
77
and 7.
and 7.
Okay.
And then 113. Mm-hmm. Just 5 inches in on the other side.
Okay, notice that the magnet is on the back side, and I'm using this as my square. So I use this as my number, and of course the speed square, we're going to use that as well. We're going to mark these holes, we're going to put them. Now I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to come in here very simply, and I'm going to put the number right between the top two. The top two, Robin will turn around and put it right in the middle. I'll say 57 divided by 2 is 25 plus 3.5 is 28.5. I'll go 28.5 inches, and I'll put a hole right there, and I'll go here, here, and here. I'll do the same thing on the other angle. I'm going to put 10 in here. This way you can create a sag. This one here is 52.5, which is 26.25. 26.25, and I put that right here, and I go here and here. Okay, thank you.
Okay, notice that I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna drill this here, I'm gonna drill it, I'm gonna drill those, drill that one right there, and drill them all pre-drilled on the foil side, okay? And so everything is nice and tight, it doesn't open like a book anymore because of the tape on both sides. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take this screw right here, which is a 0.7 by 0.4, oh, you don't have to get too close to that. Okay, 0.7 by 0.4, okay, good, with the washer on it. And we're going to turn around and come in here like this, and we're going to push it in like this. You can push back a little bit. There you go. Then I'm going to come back in the back. It's going to go through there. Then I'm going to put a washer on that. I'm going to blow it off each time I do it. I'm going to put a washer on it like this, and then I'm going to put the magnet on here.
The tube?
Excuse me?
The tube?
Yeah, the tube is right here. Yep. So, what's that?
Explain the tube.
Oh, I'm sorry, the tube is a spacer, yeah. And then the wipe is usually in the back here. Go ahead and show away, kind of walk away for a second, and we'll bring them out a little further. And then what we're going to do is we have a nice thing. And I'm going to put this in here like this. The wipe's going to be in the front, like this, and she's going to be holding onto this, okay? And I'm going to just, by hand, tighten it up. And what's going to happen is that styrofoam is going to compress. So I'm just going to give it just a torque by my hand. And all of a sudden, it's going to sit just like that on the back side. See that? Sense? Okay? And then on the front side, it's going to look like that. Okay, stop it, and we'll show you the end result. This is going up right now. I'm going to blow it off. Okay, try to show you the magnet. And so the spacer is required. If you look up at the top there, if you look up at the top over here, sweetheart. There you go. Keep going all the way over. You'll notice
that there's beams across there, right? Those are an inch to an inch and a quarter to an inch and a half to whatever. They're all over the place. So I suggested that I would come in here, over here now, and I would take these, and I would make this an inch and a half from this point here to here. Okay, so I made that, so I cut this PEX tubing, which is just basically the way I cut it is over here, using this type of PVC cutter. I'll show the PVC cutter, because what it does is it straightens it out, and as you go down, it'll cut it nice and straight, and it'll leave a nice perpendicular cut. So then I put the spacer in there, and I use 0.7 by 100. I can't remember now the numbers, but you can kind of gauge it by what you're doing up there.
Screws long enough.
And the screws are long enough, obviously, that's correct. Everything's good to go. So now, can you see all of them? Can you see all of them in here? Take a look at all of them. How many are there? 10. 10 for the ceilings, 8 for the walls. Or you can just kind of get a better visual right here, Robin. Just throw it right in here. And you can see pretty much what happened, how we did that, okay? And then what we'll do is I'm going to show the front side of it. Like this. Okay, looking good. Notice I taped everything on here. I taped all the big spots. They have barcodes on these silly things, and I had to tape the barcodes just so that it wouldn't be so obvious standing out there. And everything looks pretty good. So now it's time to put it up on the ceiling. And Robin's going to do that. We're going to do that. And we're going to have to probably show you after it's done. But it's soon. What's that?
Explain how you do it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the outside heat first. Put it inside the eave like this first, and instead of go inside the eave, and then I'm going to slide it back to the peak, like that, and all of a sudden all these magnets are going to just go snap, 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 and they're going to stay up there for good, okay? So we'll talk to you when it gets up there.
Okay.
Okay, so now, Robin helped me put it up inside the eave, okay, and I got all the magnets in here. Always cleaning your hands. There's always going to be dark spots on these things, so you take them off. Now or later. And then there's going to be a little area here. And this area here is like a little line that was created. And the manufacturer did this. They put this together, and then it puts my line just perfectly right there. See that? And I'm going to take everything like this, like this, and like this. And I'll put it down real quick. Time this. Careful on the firing. Supposed to get it down the ladder. Whoa, this thing's willing. And notice, I just go in there like this, like this, like this, like this, and it fits in there just perfectly, folks. See that? See how nicely it fits? Okay, now I got all these in, so I'll go back down here and readjust this one over here. You got time left on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to come over here.
Push the side
Sometimes
down.
you're going to hit the line. And I'm going to just make it nice and even. Nice and even. And I can come in here and actually take it and make it a little bit more even by pulling down the putty knife. So
Push it down.
push
Do you
it
need
down.
to push down your side, that far side? Does that need to go down? Because look at the wire.
Oh, the wire? No,
Yeah, on your left side.
Right here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, see how it's crooked?
Yep, sure do.
Now you got to push that peak side.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn this off so I can get up there and help.
Yep. All right, folks. So it took a little bit of finessing. I took a putty knife and I kind of just brought it down so it stayed even all the way down here, all the way down that line, all the way over, and it looks pretty sharp. So this side of the roof is completed. And I can tell you right now, a huge, huge difference already just inside here. It's Florida, obviously. So take a look here. I can feel the difference. And I can feel the difference where the sun hits here. Well, obviously it's too cool out here to get a good number off this, but you'll notice how I did all of it. Looking good, looking pretty sharp, looking there. So now the walls are next. So you don't want to do any of these side walls yet. You don't want to do anything yet except for the roof first, right? You're going to do the roof, both sides of the roof should be, but since I'm going to do this, and then we're going to lay a piece of tape on the last pit. When we get ready to go in here, I'm going to lay a piece of tape on there, so when I pop it up inside there, I can actually lay that tape, and it'll create a nice little seam all the way down the line as I do each individual section, okay? And then over here, I probably should have put the tape up there, right up there before I put it up. But I could always take this off if I wanted to, and then lay the tape here, and then when I get up there on the ladder, just like layer it right there and just kind of like just nicely smooth it, and it'll look good. Or some weather stripping. Now, I'm kind of particular about everything, so this area up here, I'm going to put some weather stripping here. So little areas that I think I need weather stripping at, I'm going to put them there. And we bought some of that as well. Where is that at? Where's the weather stripping at? Oh, right here. So that's the weather stripping. So in essence, I bought me a bunch of washers. I think they were 12 cents a piece. And I did the math on it. It comes out pretty good. And then I bought these magnets, okay, 300 times 70 cents a piece. I think they were 60 cents a piece in both. And they're used as hooks, by the way. They're actually hooks. Yeah, see, look at this. They actually come as hooks, so you don't want to buy individuals, otherwise you get yourself in a jam. And they have a 0.7 by 0.4, I believe is what it is, 0.7 thread. And you just buy your regular screws. And I have different ones, one for the wall, which I bought for everything, but it turns out that it's pretty good for the wall. Did you already cut these all up? Oh yeah, these are all for the wall. They've already been cut up. And we bought some sandpaper right here to kind of sand off the rough edges. You notice how nice and smooth it went up. There's the tubing, and you can see, I would have liked a little harder tubing, but this is okay. It worked out pretty good, but it cuts real easy. The really nice part about this is the way you turn around and you take your magnet and you use the side edge of the garage, and you use that as a stopping point. Okay? So that's it. So that's going to be it. Now, if you notice, one thing I did, I bought a whole bunch of these right here. Be careful how you lay things on. I'm being a little sloppy right now with my straps. But I'm going to take the straps. But be very careful you don't get it dirty. It's very important you don't keep it dirty, okay? All right, talk to me dirty with this. And then these pieces right here, and if you cut them up, if you think about how you're going to cut them up, okay, you're going to have your 4 by 8 pieces all the way up, right? And then your second piece is going to go on the top of the 10 feet, which is going to be 2 feet by 48, right? If you think about it smartly, you can use a one full sheet, 2 feet. You want to make it to 4 pieces, because that's where you get the big bang out of your setup. And you'll also notice that on the back side, why did I remove it? Okay, the styrofoam in front has a vinyl sheeting. Okay, it's a clear sheeting. It's not really vinyl. It's just got almost like a between kind of like waterproofing, and on the back side it's got a radiant barrier. Okay, this is a radiant barrier here, and so this is going to transmit the heat outward against the building, and then hopefully go up to the ridge vent. Okay, and what I want is an air gap in there. By doing so, it says I'll get a 5.2 type of R value, and so far I've seen a difference, and this is just what I've done. When we get ready to do the garage door, I'm going to take the garage door. I'm going to do the same technique, except what I'm going to do is I'm going to take big pieces, and I'm just going to go ahead and get the magnet a little closer. See, I'm going to get the magnet a little closer, like almost right to the edge, by a different screw, and I'm going to turn around and these pieces are going to go on here, and then I'm going to take tape or somehow or another knife that takes some handles on it. So I can take this piece off from the magnet, and it'll come off. Up on the top, I'm going to get this long weather stripping on the outside edge that you can't see from the outside, and that's going to get rid of the lighting and the air gap that you can see back here. Okay? And all these little pieces, we're going to wait till we're done. Even if we got to tape a whole bunch of extras together, we're going to put this all together, and we're going to do the same thing, same air gap, the whole bit. But we're going to wait till we get through all the big pieces first, and then all these little pieces we have, we're going to use them as little gap spots for all the different locations. And it doesn't look so bad with the tape. If you notice, the tape looks pretty decent, and you can't really tell the difference. So we're going to use that tape even if we got to do, 3 or 4 pieces. So we'll end up using all of our straps over here. All of our straps. Try to show the entire visual of this thing. So the big thing too, folks, is make sure you keep your hands clean. Keep your hands clean at all times. Make sure that when you put things together and you drag things, you don't bust up that styrofoam. Make sure you tape off nicely and you burnish it down nicely too. Make sure it burnishes down. And so far, we've had not so much of a hot problem. One of the biggest problems I've had, or was concerned about, magnets lose their magnetism, even on a rare earth magnet like neodymium, which is what it is. They start losing their magnetic powers at 120 degrees. So I got to be kind of careful there. But in the past, when I did vacuum injection molding, I used a neodymium magnet to hold on inserts, and it worked like a champ. And that was up to 220 degrees. So anyhow, we're done, folks, and have a good day. Hope this helped.